A jury trial is set to begin in Flint next week for a civil case against the city and the police department. A police cruiser hit a man while he was riding a bike. Court documents indicate that the officer involved was going more than 70 miles per hour in a 35 zone. Dashcam video shows the officer approaching the intersection, and you can see Donald Cameron on his bike crossing the street. According to the complaint, the officer didn't have a siren on as he approached, which would violate a law that mandates having lights and sirens on when heading to an emergency call.
The officer clearly didn't see him, was going way too fast, and ran him over, launching my client.
This is dashcam video provided to Mid-MichiganNow by the Venn Johnson law firm. You can see the officer driving through the streets on the city's south side. Attorney Venn Johnson says his client was coming home from his job at Blackstone's.
I see him about 10 seconds before the impact, look over his shoulder because the police car's coming up from behind him.
I just hit a pedestrian at Court and Corona.
This is the area where the crash happened around 10:30 p.m. on August 18, 2020. Donald Cameron was 53 years old at the time. He lived, but Johnson says he has suffered from a traumatic brain injury and can no longer take care of himself.
He's a lifelong prisoner in his own body.
The civil lawsuit says the officer was negligent and displayed reckless behavior while driving his police SUV.
A horrible tragedy that could have and should have been avoided had the officer simply done what's required by Michigan law.
This case happened more than 5 years ago. However, it's been delayed and challenged under governmental immunity claims. The officer was removed from the lawsuit, which now focuses solely on the police department and the city.
We sued the police officer initially, but as you know, I had to prove gross negligence and the proximate cause, and so we ultimately dismissed him from the case since we didn't want them to delay it anymore on appeal.
Attorneys hope the jury sides with them. They are seeking $25,000 in damages.
I think it's really important that when we take on these cases and we hold the police accountable just like they hold us accountable. And no one's above the law, not even the police.
The officer is no longer employed by Flint Police. The jury trial is expected to start on Wednesday. I asked the city for comments on this case, and I've not heard back.